and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and I decided that I wanted to make a studio apartment. And this particular studio apartment, I actually made it for an artist. So I actually used a bunch of color, a bunch of textures, just this eclectic, just magic wonderland. I am in love with how this came out. Like, you know, sometimes when you just build or you do something and you're just like, this is, I mean, maybe one of my favorites. And I feel like I say that very often, but this one it just came out, I feel like, so well. And I ended up using some items that I don't typically use, and I got to use a bunch of bright colors, and I love, love, love colors. So this was actually like a perfect build for me and was just something really relaxing for me to do. And you can see over there on the left, there's this like little black nub coming through that wall. I have no idea what that is. I went to the apartment next door to it to see if maybe there was an object that I had pushed into the wall or something, and it was just sticking into this apartment. And no, there's not another object. The only thing I can think of is there is a half wall that intersects right there. So unless that is the like top piece of the half wall that's sticking through, otherwise I don't know what else it is. So I had the fun task of covering that up because it looked awful. And like I said, I don't know why that's there. And I tried to delete it about 50 times and it wasn't happening. So don't worry, I cover this up. And honestly, like, I still feel like it may be some sort of weird glitch with the apartment next door, the one that I have built. So hopefully if you download this off the gallery, you don't have that sitting there. And this apartment is already up on the Sims 4 gallery under my gallery ID, Spice and Sprinkles, all one word and all lowercase, if you want to check that out. And if you've not downloaded an apartment before, just a warning, it has to be uploaded as a room. So I did delete like a wall or two so that it uploads as one room. So you'll have to replace those. And the other thing that's a little bit different about this apartment is I used platforms. So that helped change like the levels of the different rooms. Now, it won't let me upload it with the platforms like that because it doesn't see it as a singular room, which is really fun. So when you download it, it'll all be one level, but you should be able to kind of see where those platforms would be. So you can add those back in if you'd like to, along with some stairs, or just play with it as is with it all just kind of leveled out. And as always, if you download it, be sure to use bb.moveobjects. And that's just a cheat that you type in so that all of your items don't disappear, because I use it. So that means items are intersected and layered and all of that kind of stuff, and the game doesn't like it if you download it without the cheat. So be sure to include that when you download this. But I just really wanted this to be a bunch of funky, cool colors, and I apologize for this being up a little bit late today. I'm honestly thinking about moving my typical upload time. Usually I upload at 11 a.m. EST, but I think I might bump that back into the afternoon just in case like I don't have a build up. I have time to make it and edit it and all of that good stuff and get it up still on time. So besides, if you've actually been listening to some of my other voiceovers, I've just been dealing with some personal stuff last week, and then my birthday was on Saturday, so I've been just it's been a weird week, so I'm a little bit behind. But even besides that, I've actually been working on something. I'm actually trying to get set up so that I can actually stream over on Twitch. So I'm trying to get all the overlays, the music, like all of that good stuff set up, so when I stream it looks nice and it sounds nice. Fingers crossed, and I don't have a lot of technical difficulties. So I've spent a ton of time actually getting that set up, so hopefully I'll actually be streaming really soon, fingers crossed, this week. And I do have the link in the description if you want to check that out, and go ahead and follow me so that you kind of know when I go live if you want to check out streams, if that's something that you're into and you would like to hang out. I plan on doing, of course, Sims, and as well as actually being able to play some other games, like other simulation games like Animal Crossing or like Story of Seasons, stuff like that. So it should be a good, chill, fun vibe. So be sure to check that out once I actually start streaming. And I'm hoping that soon I'll actually have a set schedule, but I'm still working on setting that up, just making sure I can even stream to begin with. So like I said, that's down in the description if you want to check it out. And of course, leave any comments if you would like to see any particular builds or things you think might be fun on the channel. And since I've hit 100 subs, I'm still trying to decide exactly what I want to do for like a 100 sub video. So if you have any ideas for that, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and be sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you are enjoying this video and you want to see more like it. And anyways, back to the build. I actually loved that garage door, that pull-up door that I put there. I kind of let it act like a piece of art kind of behind the bed, like a headboard. And I feel like I haven't seen the swatches that came with that. Like, I haven't seen any of them, I swear. Like, the one I left up there is gorgeous, like all those colors, and it's just so saturated with those lovely vivid hues that I just had to keep it. And I ended up just kind of using a bunch of colors, a bunch of funky objects, and honestly, it was so much fun putting these textures together in these colors because I don't usually do this. And I tried to use a bunch of funky different lamps that I don't usually use because I feel like maybe the person that lives in this apartment just like loves all of the color, and maybe they do like pop art or something. And actually, I know I chose something very interesting in the bathroom. If you've noticed, that tile that's in there is kind of like a mural. And I actually ended up using it because I thought maybe the artist that lived here actually did that themselves. Like, they went in and tiled it, so they did like a really cool like landscape in the bathroom. So that's what I'm thinking. It's a little random of a choice, but I like to think that that's something that they actually like did themselves, if that makes sense. And then I do something really interesting with the kitchen. You'll see it come up a little bit later, but it is off in that corner, and I actually end up lowering that room. So there's actually like 3 sets of stairs in this apartment. So there's just a bunch of different like little divots, but I feel like it adds a lot of interest to this space. And I love just pulling in all of these random objects and patterns, and they just kind of work together even though they look kind of insane. But like I said, it made me like use objects that maybe I don't usually use, like that giant peacock statue in the corner. Like, I don't know if I've really ever used it except for when I was making a build for the Decor to the Max kit, but I felt like it just worked so well in here. And I do actually end up changing a few of the colors over in the dining room because I kind of did that first, but then as I got over to the like actual like artist area and then the like living room space, I started incorporating a lot more colors. So I do tweak that a little bit so it kind of is a little more cohesive with this space. And honestly, even though this is a smaller apartment, there is so much stuff in here. Like, it is just packed with things. Like, I added in the guitar, I do put in a chess table, you have the easels, so your Sims have so much to do here, and you can actually level up a bunch of different skills. And I thought again that maybe this interesting tile like they did themselves, and I do swap the counters out for like a light blue. And you can see that it didn't want to put that counter over in the corner, so that's actually where I end up putting the stove because the counter didn't want to work and I needed to put a stove in anyways. And I ended up using the new curtains from the Desert kit, which, don't forget, is free to people who have base game through October 17th. So if you haven't gotten that yet, be sure to do that if you're interested. And then on October 18th, the game actually goes free to play. So if you've ever wanted to play The Sims but couldn't afford it, or just, you've been waiting for the right time or a sale, well, it will permanently be free. So it is the perfect time to get it if you would like to. And so I'm just adding a little bit of clutter here. I was careful not to put like too much clutter because I wanted you to be able to still cook in this kitchen space because there's not a lot of room. And I thought that I might put like a little like workbench table thing kind of in the center there. But I tried a few tables and honestly it ended up there was just too much going on. But I did end up using a very interesting rug in this kitchen. It's a rug that I don't think I've used before, but I like the idea that, again, this artist just likes maybe pop art and just random things. So I end up using like the fried egg like rug, I think that came with the high school pack, which I felt like it was kind of appropriate for the kitchen, egg, food, kitchen. And I think it just worked really well here. And I didn't use the one with the toast because I felt like it filled up too much of the area. That is like one of the most ridiculous statements I feel like I've ever said in my life. And I did forget to mention, so all that art that I actually put up on the walls over there and on that easel, I got that off of the gallery. So if you ever want to get some more like custom or interesting pieces of art, you can just search like art on the gallery, and people have uploaded those like in a room or on a wall. So you can download the wall and then just take all the art off of it. And they even, I know some people used custom content and did like a paint by reference and had their Sims do that. But once the sim paints it and creates a painting, it is no longer custom content. So you can get some really cool art and different things from that. You can also do that for like a backsplash like tile. People have made like all kinds of stuff on the gallery. So, you know, be sure to look at those if you're trying to, even if you have base game, but you're trying to switch up, you know, the stuff that you have, that would be like a really great option. And I did put the telescope in here. It does not function properly in here, I will say, because it's not outdoors. But I really liked the object and felt like it'd be really cool, like the idea of your sim like being able to like look out the window at the stars or something, or creep on their neighbors, you know, whichever. Although you probably shouldn't do that. But I liked it. I liked the idea, and I thought it was kind of funny to do that. And then I do end up adding in laundry here as well. And you, of course, if you don't have it, it's fine if it doesn't end up in the build when you download it, or if you just don't feel like playing with it, which I totally understand, you can just take it out. But I do end up putting that in the bathroom because it was actually a pretty large bathroom. I ended up putting like a double sink, a full like shower tub combo, and I got to use that like funky colored shower curtain on it, which I was really excited because I always want to use it, but it just usually doesn't fit very well. And I do end up making the washer and dryer like yellow and orange, and like I've always wondered like, when would you use those colors? You would use those colors in this build. So I was actually excited to be able to use some of those colors in here. And then just adding in like an organizer, and then like just having a few things up on the counters as well. I think I just end up adding like the toothbrushes and the soap, and then having those really unique looking mirrors. I figured that would be more realistic than having like a really simple mirror. Just something a little more unique would fit better here. And then just adding in a cool rug, and I end up putting a piece of artwork on the wall that ties in with that rug as well. But we are getting close to the end of this video, so if you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more like it. And as always, leave a comment down below of stuff you want to see, and as a reminder, let me know if you have an idea for a 100 sub video. And I hope you're having a really sweet day. Bye everybody.
We're moving through the night like we're from a different star, flying over streets and our broken hearts. But they can't even touch us, we found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the lead.